And welcome to Bern, Switzerland. We're here with the 50th International Bernese Ladies Cup. My name is Armin Harder. I'm here with Richard Harding. Today's feature game is the B final. And we're going to feature Team Muirhead against Team Sinclair from the US. Team Muirhead from Scotland. And we see the team list there, and the teams will be presented shortly. Teams are just finishing their draw shots. And here we've got Team Muirhead, Eve Muirhead, Kelly Schaefer, Vicky Adams, and Lauren Gray. And on here we've got Jamie Sinclair, Alexander Carlson, Vicky Pearson, and Monica Walker. It's a little warmer today, Richard. 4.4. See how that has any effect. It's been great so far all weekend. Lots of swing here at the Bern Almend Curling Club. Stefan Ritlisberger, head ice maker. And we're underway. The hammer going to Muirhead in the first end. And here we have Monica Walker throwing the first rocks. USA playing yellow rocks and the Scottish team having the red rocks. So, welcome, Richard. Say hello.
Thank you, Armin. Thank you very much. It's perhaps the ice a little bit warmer. I don't know how much effect there is on the outside to the inside, but it's a rather nice spring day here in Bern. Beautiful sunshine.
Yeah,
and it could be it could be easily a March day rather than one in the middle of January.
Yeah.
It looks good. Go, Vicky. Okay, line's good. Good.
So what's your prediction here, Richard?
Well, both these teams have been competing all over the place all season long. The Muirhead team, of course, will be going to the Olympics shortly, and their opposition today lost in the final of the US trials, a best of three against the team that will go to the Olympics and represent the United States, Nina Roth and her team. But this team have been performing well all season as well. You've got all the rankings details. I believe they're around 16th.
Yeah, we can take a look at some of that a little later.
Yep.
I stand corrected. This is a B semi-final. It's not the B final.
Yeah.
The other semi-final, B semi-final, is Rano against Sidorova. So the winner of this game will be facing. Oh, it is a final, is it?
Well, they both qualify into the quarters.
So it is a final.
Yes. That's the triple knockout, Armin.
Yeah, they both qualify, and then that'll be the third and fourth teams to qualify for the quarterfinals, and then of course we'll have to wait until later tonight or later this afternoon to see who's in the C final.
The two losers here drop down to the C Road, of course, so they're not out, but they get another chance. In triple knockout, it means what it says. You get 3 goes before you're knocked out.
That's right.
And for all of these teams, or these two teams plus Sidorova.
We have Mozeva and Felcher already qualified through the A, which happened last night. Sidorova and Jackson dropping down into the Bs, so they didn't manage to.
80.
Sidorova and Rana
Skyrim!
are here.
Yeah, Sidorova won their second B game, so they're not playing in that final.
No, they're here. They're in this. They will
Yes.
qualify if they win.
That's right, but they
So
played in the A quarter semifinal last night.
Yeah.
Or they lost the A finals yesterday. Sorry, let's put it that way. So quite a setup already. Muirhead has a center guard up, although she's got the hammer, so she'll be trying to drive this rock back onto the. Just opens it up. Americans are at least two shooters. I'm not sure if that back one is biting. We're a little further away from the sheet today, so we can't quite see that. But yeah, back yellow one's not biting, I don't think.
Same line.
So the C finals will be at 4 o'clock
tight.
tonight, and I think we'll be showing one of those games.
Indeed we will, but not able to tell you which one until we
there'll be 4
see
games. So
who advances from here and who doesn't, who drops to the sea.
We're 3.
We will, of course, bring you full coverage on finals day tomorrow, starting with the
We're 4.
quarter finals and then moving on to the semis and the final.
we got an
Those
early
games,
start
so-
tomorrow with an 8 o'clock game.
Okay.
Yeah, those games will be at 8, 11, 15 and finally at 2:30 for the finals local time here.
That one
A
did.
little long, that shot from the USA. They didn't want to be quite that close to the rock set up in the front of the house, so
Inside mine is sending that
At least-
top one that way.
Muirhead will be at least to be able to double 2 of these out.
Don't think she can reach the third one though.
I don't think so either.
It's pretty well protected with a guard.
But you'll want to make sure she rolls her shooter if she can. Get hit out of the way. 32 teams started in this competition. We're slowly getting down to the crunch here. Triple knockout. She gets her 2, but shooter stays out front.
Okay, then
Nikki
I'm
Adams.
4 and 5. So it's getting a little quicker each time. Yeah, she gave me 2 inches more still even. Good feed. Back. Line's good.
So just trying to draw right
Line's
out
good.
into the wing
Very
here.
hot.
It's certainly fully in the house.
Hard. Hard.
I beg your pardon. Trying to draw behind.
Yeah.
Not quite making it. But I don't think she's left the double unless this front stone can be raised right into the
Think it well.
very correct spot of these 2 stones lying there. Otherwise only one will move. Kelly Schaefer, our first sighting of her. At third player this weekend. Normal third Anna Sloan is ill.
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah.
Is do you know if as she takes up the back one also, is Kelly the spare for the Olympics?
She is.
I would think so.
Yep. And of course, some years ago she was a former skip in Scotland. Represented Scotland several times at Worlds and Europeans before moving to Canada.
Now residing in Swift Current,
I'm leaning towards that.
Saskatchewan, where we had a wonderful World Championship a few years ago.
Yeah.
ladies World
2010,
Championship.
I think it was.
No, it was
2011.
14 or 15 years.
No, that was the second time.
That's what I'm talking about.
We've been in Swift Current twice.
I wasn't talking about the dark old ages.
It was the dark old days when Kelly represented Scotland
Oh, okay.
in Swift Current. Just got the roll.
Sets up a double there for
I thought I outed that enough, but
Muirhead.
And unfortunately for the US team, the worst thing about that was pushing the red counter in behind all these guards.
Yeah, and Muirhead does have the hammer here, so
And this is definitely a double takeout prospect.
the only good thing here for Sinclair is that she makes that double. That red one will probably be exposed. Might have another double opportunity for Sinclair. So unless she can get some action off this, but I don't think that'll be. Oh, okay. That double will be a little more difficult now.
you gotta play the easy one. I think we need more than that. Really? I mean, our draws are curling 6.5 feet. Okay.
So you heard the comment there, the draws are curling 6.5 feet, which is a lot. And that might be a little bit to do with the temperature being a
temperatures,
bit
yeah.
warmer. 4.4 minus 4.4 is a little bit on the warm side, with an ice hall full of 64 players all giving off heat.
This is a nose hit, so Muirhead still laying shot.
Yep, you can see a little bit.
She needed to get a roll out of that, make sure she got in behind the guard.
Or we could come right in here. Yeah. It's just a difficult hole to get through for us for line and weight, and I think so. Yep. There's that. Yep. Good. So I give you that for draw the button.
I think we'll leave that, won't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll move at the end.
I think this is probably easier.
So just a straight draw, Richard? Did I catch that correctly?
Top button.
That's the decision. I guess the other option would have been to take these yellow stones out, but there's no point in that really when you've got the last stone advantage.
She was a little concerned about
Maybe pound on.
being able to, Sinclair being able to come through that gap, that port on the right hand side and getting at that red rock. So
That is certainly possible, but it's quite challenging. So the gap is fairly tight. Probably get the roll the right way to the stones in the right place just to pick it out and keep your shooter in play. So this could be a crucial stone. If she makes this round
It's
behind
wide
the
right
guard,
now.
might
Go
be
wide
a
right
chance
now.
for
We'll have to come off of here.
a 3, but
Go,
actually
Ricky.
it's
Go, Ricky.
incredibly wide here.
hitting the nose. The weight would have been all right. It just didn't
Now I think you can play this.
move for her.
Well, it looked to me as if she
Thinking normal.
pushed it out at the end of her swing,
Yeah.
end of her delivery.
I like at least
Really didn't
normal.
come back.
If you firm and chip it and roll out, you're not hurting yourself really. She's still got to make a draw against two. So up to you. Just not mess.
I'm on that same 9.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'll move that much.
This is the shot to play, no doubt about that, Armin.
Absolutely. You
And
get a little action coming inside behind the guard. I mean,
There's a 9.
they're sitting pretty. You can also roll right over. And,
It's not the easiest shot in the first end of play to be faced with this, but when you're playing at this level, you have to be ready for this right from the off. So here it is, challenge number 1 for Jamie Sinclair. Her last stone here in the first end. chance to lie really well.
Oh, easy, guys. Off.
Whoa!
Thread this stone through the gap.
Make a move now.
She gets through the gap. She's got a good looking shot. Well,
Oh.
she doesn't.
Sorry. Go, 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 go.
Trying to make sure that
Yeah, I want to make sure that's
didn't go far enough.
as far out as possible, not to leave a
Open hit for 3.
We can, but
Well, not quite so open, but
Save two. Right, so what did you give me that last time?
So I gave you here,
Okay, and it would have been
but we can afford
well,
to.
there's no guard
Would you
now.
like middle of the 12?
I think even let's go in a wee bit. I think
so at the moment,
I think that'll be good.
just wait till we hear what they decide.
That's good.
And she'll need to nose hit at least.
Touching 8, silly 8 foot.
Actually, I think she's just drawing for 2.
Is that right?
Don't think she can see. Well, she won't see
She
more than
can-
half that stone from the hack.
Not so sure.
It's not worth just nosing that, is it? I can see the whole. I can
She's,
see the whole stone.
that's what I thought.
Even if we pull it away, it's 2. Well, not really.
She just needs a quiet hit. Hit it right on the nose, and she's got her 3.
At the end of the day, if she curls too much with enough weight, the worst that'll happen is she'll hit that yellow one
Okay.
through the gap there.
Yeah.
The front yellow, I mean,
Yeah.
if it over curls.
No, if she doesn't curl enough, that yellow will jam back on the red, and she'll only make 1.
Yeah, but if she fails with the draw, she only makes 1 anyway, so it's worth a go, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's see the whole thing.
Line's
Pretty
good.
dead. It was pretty dead.
It's a very new line. They haven't played out that far yet.
Line's good.
Well-
It's all you.
She's not doing that, she's just playing the draw.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah. And she's a bit heavy,
Yeah. It's going to stick around.
is it?
Good throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, just.
2? Yeah.
Okay. So 2 for Muirhead here in the first end.
That much at all. Did you?
Good throw.
Mustn't
Got
have been
13.5 on that, so it's up to
too comfortable throwing out into the 12-foot area there.
That's fine. Good end. Good chances. It's my
Well, most times you'd be quite happy with 2 in the first end.
played what
Sure,
you wanted,
that's
and
And
you played the brush,
if
so we
you're
can't do any
a little
more
bit
than
greedy and end up not making the shot, you've
But you can
perhaps
take,
got a 1 or lost a 1. And
take that risk in the first end.
that. There you go.
I have to agree with Eve's selection ultimately, not just because I'm Scottish.
We're sitting up here, they're down
Yeah.
there.
And she made the shot.
Score of 2 in the first end, so now the hammer goes to Sinclair. 2-0 lead here at the Bern Ladies International, the 50th. WCF and World Curl TV production partner with this, with the World Curling Tour on this event.
So a second in commences with the lead player in Eve's team, Lauren Gray, throwing the first stone. Just calling for a
Hard, Kelly.
draw
Just really tight, really tight. Okay, well then.
as tight as possible to the front of the house without being in it. It just creeps in.
Okay.
Sinclair ranked around 18th total on the world ranking. Had a win 2 wins this season at the Asham U.S. Open of curling and the Shorty Jenkins Classic. And a second place finish at the Olympic trials.
Line's good. Starting to go.
I think that was a best of 3, and we ended up losing in the last
Wow, that surprised me.
game against Nina Roth.
Like,
Well, that draw
Going
there
that
to
way.
the wing did indeed draw 6.5 feet, maybe even 7 feet.
I know.
So it's well and truly out on the
Gotta,
wing.
gotta throw a positive handle. You don't want to roll them at all. And Eve Muirhead ranked 6th in the world.
Line's good. Line's good. Whoa.
She's had a couple of first place finishes, of course, European Championships and the HDF Insurance Shootout. She's had a little quieter season this year, not as many events as usual.
I think she would have been 10. I did.
A couple of third places in the slams.
No, it's curling past it already. It's through because she didn't.
Mine's pretty
like
good.
It's through. Can't touch it. Okay. I got it this time, Vic.
It does curl, I think you can get it, and I'll sweep for the guards if you do.
Just hot!
Yep.
Yep!
So Vicky Adams with this
Hard, Lauren! Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa.
draw shot to the wing, but she's onto the guard, I think. Oh, and some. Well, that stone curled a long, long way.
Just curl all the way across it. I like that. Yeah, I think it'll run pretty good.
It'll be interesting to see how the ice holds up. If it's we're starting a little warm, holds up through the game. Players need to be aware of that. Might start fudging a little bit or something.
Whoa.
Keep cleaning.
Clean. Yep. Yep.
So straight take out here against 2. She'll hit and stick.
The ice gets too warm, then the pebble breakdown becomes an issue.
Clean. Whoa. Clean. Clean, 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 clean. Clean. Whoa, nice throw. Good. Well swept, guys.
Okay, good. Yeah. Pretty true up there, Vic.
Okay.
That was 9-1, which is normal. That's good. Yeah.
So Vicky Persinger just trying to replace that and stick around, but it rolls out.
I don't think I can get to nose. Yeah, I can see.
I didn't get one. I think each rock gets a little straighter too. Same weight, probably straighter. Even just because it's the second one or the third one.
Clean.
Good. Yep.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa. Clean.
Yeah.
No. 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 Nothing. Well swept. Nice shot.
Nicely played.
Pass.
Hit and roll behind the guard, called for and made. Of course, with the amount of curl you can get to it from right to left as we look at it from that shot.
Well, looks like it. Sinclair wanting to draw down to that, behind that guard and get in front of that red counter at the back of the back of the house.
Got room.
It's got to get past the red one on the front, which it does. It's a little, well, not too bad. It's a little bit long.
Good effort, because the speed and the amount of curl is
Really tricky.
Yeah, it's challenging to get it 100% at the moment. Kelly Schaefer then her second shot in this second end.
Clean! 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 Yep!
Just going for this takeout, hoping to stick around.
Hard, Vicky! Hard,
Just
hard,
catch the inside of the
Good. Nice shot.
yellow and roll. Well, two great hit and rolls from Kelly in this end.
Nice throw, Kel.
Yeah, very good. The only issue with that, well, we'll just see it again. Just going to get the roll off this, which was very nicely played. The only downside is these two stones are in the back of the house behind the tee line, and that allows the Sinclair team to draw right onto the face of them.
Just get one in front of it and you'll be fine with that. Yeah. That's a little long too though.
It's going to bounce off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shoot, we should try and carve those over.
And I think a bigger roll is
Well,
better
yeah.
than sitting
Sinclair's got the hammer, so I guess
I think so, yeah.
those rocks aren't really a big issue for her, as long as there's a way to the 4-foot at the end. That's certainly becoming difficult to score two.
Yes, that's looking quite difficult at this stage, but Eve is going to play the takeout. She'll hope to roll one way or the other here and not just leave the stone
Yeah.
on the tee line in front of where that yellow stone is at the moment. So here we go. Eve Muirhead in number 2, her first stone here. First of the skip stones. Well, she has indeed hit it right on the nose. Gives a chance for Sinclair to hit and roll in behind.
Only 'cause they've thrown so many to that wing.
She's just seen the line that Eve took.
One on hers.
Can play the same shot. Perhaps either slightly less speedy or very slightly less ice.
Can actually hit and roll either way. Can roll to the right and sit in front of those red ones. Is not bad either. I think the nose hit is probably the worst of the three options.
No, well, that's not an option.
No, nose hit or rolling out completely is not an option.
Yes. The two positive options are roll either way,
Yeah, either way, just a little bit.
be hidden a little bit or totally. If you can just get the perfect shot here. So the first of Jamie Sinclair's stones in the second end.
You say that very Scottishly. Sinclair.
Good Scottish name.
That rolled too far.
That's fine. 9-4.
Shot at the moment, but probably not for long. Sidorova took 3 in her B final game against Verano from Sweden over on sheet 7. That gives her a 3-0 lead. Strong start there for the Russian team.
So the winner of that game and this will progress
I think so, yeah. I think
to the next two quarterfinal positions.
That's correct. Already qualified are,
right in the nose with her.
and I had that here for some, Mozeva and Felcher.
Yep. So Eve Muirhead going for the takeout. Must be needing to draw a little bit here.
Yeah, nobody doing anything here.
No sweeping going on. She will hit and roll out.
No, it really didn't matter what she did there.
Well,
Sinclair's
as long as
going
you
to
hit it out.
Yeah, as long as it was out. Sinclair's drawing against 3.
Piece of the 4.
You can see how much curl there
what
was
do we think?
because one of the players from the next sheet was borrowing a little bit of ice on
Get out
the
of my
sheet
way.
yes, the sheet that we're playing on.
Could you just hold your broom still over there? We're aiming at it.
Yes. Well, the broom was still on the next sheet, but the person wasn't. Of course, you're allowed to do that.
Line's nice.
But it is a little unusual.
Line's good.
Just shows
Keep
how much
them
curl there
down
is.
if you can. Curling. Line's still good.
So this draw against 3,
It's looking very good.
important for Jamie Sinclair to take her single point here in the second end.
Wonderful shot.
And she will
Overswing.
cover the button really. Nicely played. So with that draw shot, the score after
Good
2
shot.
ends is 2 shots to 1 for the Muirhead team over
Good job.
Jamie Sinclair
On that finish.
going into end 3.
Back 4.
Okay. Yeah. Two and a half. Line's good. Line's good. Split center. Line's
Just
good.
keep going. It finishes so hard. We're 3.
So into end number 3.
Good.
And
Nice.
Team USA, or Team Sinclair from the USA, just
Sorry,
trying
when
to
I know
get
it's not
as
getting to where I'm sweeping, I'm
tight
like,
to the rings as possible. A little bit short with that, but good line. Straddling the centre line. Lauren Gray just being asked to draw to the wing.
Not curling yet.
Line's good.
She had one up here before. 9, 10, 9. Nice, it comes down. Coming down. 9.
A little hot, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, good.
Sticks around, but it's right into the back 12-foot circle. So the sweeper's onto it for weight.
yep, just 4.
It's pretty much as soon as she let go.
It's really moving now.
It's a good looking line.
Short though. Just gets a biter.
We had a 15 on the first.
Nicely
4 on the
covered.
Second, but no ad.
But it's second shot. The red one in the back is still counting.
Yeah. Similar weights.
So all the hard work of the sweepers did pay off. There's nothing worse when you're on the front end of a team. You sweep like that and it ends 3 inches short.
Well, at least it's biting now.
Yes,
Might come into play. I'm sure it'll come into play later.
I'm sure it will.
Way only.
So Lauren Gray this time,
Line's really good.
she's asked to go behind these 2 US stones, try and draw onto the 4-foot.
With that curl, you can draw behind the rock that's in the top of the 12-foot.
She's got a good weight here.
at that.
She got good line.
Probably fully buried
Very
too.
good line.
Wonderful.
We'll judge that.
Just on the front of the
Slower
tee.
going that
Very
way.
nice.
Almost coming out the other side, eh? Draw around a
Right
rock
to
on
it.
top of the
Play.
12-foot.
Yep, good play from
Yeah, I think so.
Lauren Gray with that shot after the first error. So Vicky Persinger, second player for the Sinclair team.
5, 6.
Bring it 7.
And she's just trying to draw around and face or tap that shot back.
Hard outs.
5, 4.
So Armin, what are all the numbers they're shouting at?
There, of course. I
That
guess
thing's
each
just
team
coming
has
down
their
hard.
own system they're using, but they're looking at where the rock is going to finish. So calling out,
Yeah.
have the
How are they?
house divided into sections or sectors, and then all you do is got to shout down a number, whatever sector this you think the rock is going to be in.
They're not chasing
Just
us.
don't be wrong,
Because
right?
we're scoring this way even if they chase us around there,
Skip
aren't they?
can't see the weight that good. Usually coming at you. It's up to the sweepers to judge the weight.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. We're always leaving this.
Yeah, that's true.
Team conference.
Do you like there?
July
No.
1 and 2. Is that right?
Muirhead's got the hammer.
He's never getting shot.
No.
If you're happy to score is acceptable.
Is that not making it harder for her to score against 2?
Just looking at the distance, this might be
Because
better.
I'm thinking even if you're here.
Okay. Is there enough to open it? Because I think we can follow that in now.
Yeah. I do like that. I think touch forfeit.
Of course, when you have the hammer, it's not very comfortable to be playing in the middle, especially when the opponent has a number of rocks out in front of the rings. So, really in danger of setting up a run back situation.
Yeah, and if they make the run back and nail it right on the nose, it's a tough shot to be beating because it's right on the button area.
And all of a sudden you're chasing them instead of them chasing you.
Yeah.
The other thing they'll be aware of is that with the last store advantage, they'll be hoping to pick up at 2.
Yeah.
If it all gets snarled up at the front, that gets more difficult as well, especially with the yellow US stones.
That's right.
So an important shot here if the end is going to get set up for them.
Hey, Lauren!
Vicky Adams playing a draw
Lauren!
to the front 8 foot and hoping to be partly around the yellow US guard.
Basically the same shot that Lauren played with her last round.
Here they're sweeping for line
Really
and
swinging
for
out.
Keep on it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it.
weight. Well, that really took off when it started the draw.
Kind of took away the run back
Yeah,
on the
I like
left hand side, but it does leave a double
Yeah.
on this side. Thing is that Sinclair won't be able to keep her shooter there. She'll roll away.
Well, it's not that bad a shot if she nails it on the nose either, because there's still the raise
Yep.
opportunities.
Yep.
And
It's
it'll be
almost more important to keep your shooter there than it is to make that double right now.
correct, in my view.
Maybe.
Hard! Hard!
She's going to get it on the inside. Okay.
Not bad, but it allows Muirhead to have another go at coming round behind.
Opens up the run back again on the right hand side.
Or, as she was pointing out there, the hit and roll off the stone
Coming down this way.
on the right as we look at it,
Yep.
on the left as the player faces up to her shot. So hit and roll in here for Vicky
Be
Adams.
nice, yep. For Muirhead.
No, no, no! No! Normal! Hard!
So the
Pretty
sweepers.
animated call there for Muirhead.
Yes.
Maybe a little wide. And it is. Well. So now Sinclair can switch to a little offense here.
Wait, was good.
So she's drawing. She's not going for the tap back.
Yeah, but you jumped this one.
It's a tough draw.
She called you off straight away when I called
But part of the
Yeah.
tactic here is perhaps to force the Muirhead team into just a single point.
Good to know you can hold that line then if we're.
Of course, if she can draw quite nicely on that side and still leaves the raise on the other side, then she's a chance to maybe pick up.
Well, as long as she doesn't take her own raise away by blocking it.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Yep. Hard. Yep. Hard.
You're good.
Yep.
Wait only.
Nicely by the guard. It's just got to come to a stop now. Red, I think, is still shot.
Squeeze it. Okay.
You can come down on top of that. We can see here that red is still counting.
So just a positive throw for me.
Yes. Well, one thing that allows Muirhead to do, of course, is not to be quite so accurate on the weight. As long as she's got the line in good order here, Kelly Schaefer, the
Come down right on top of that yellow.
player involved, she has to tap it back a little bit, but
Line now.
not necessarily too far.
Gotta watch the weight though. Get it up a little bit. It's gonna run a lot straighter.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, Lauren,
It's curling now.
Lauren,
Yeah.
sweep,
Go, Lauren.
sweep, Lauren. Sweep, Lauren, sweep, 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 sweep.
Nicely done.
Nice.
Leaves it exposed though.
Also leaves the double,
Mm-hmm.
which of course wasn't on.
If I kiss our top
Till
one,
now.
it doesn't really hurt us. So
Actually, it's in situations like this that if you've got really good skip, Armin, they can see what's going to happen 2 or 3 shots ahead
Sure.
rather
Yeah.
than just one.
Sure.
firm.
Eve's already looking
sure,
at the
firm.
draw. If she makes that double, drawing into that 4-foot again. Already
That
getting
girl.
mentally prepared to throw that.
Whoa,
Of course,
whoa,
Whoa.
this shot needs to be made in order to do that.
Whoa.
It's looking all right.
The double is achieved.
Yeah.
While thinking back, for viewers watching this who are maybe not totally familiar with some of the tactics involved, that shot that rested right on the tee line belonging to the US, forcing the Muirhead team to hit it and lie, then set up the double. So maybe we're crediting them with too much,
Line's
but
good, guys.
it's the big problem they had was to get rid of that stone right on the button.
Right.
Muirhead team, though, they do have the last stone advantage here. This one
Oh,
will
there's a
bump the guard.
mistake. Yeah. Well,
Try and make it block something with it.
hit that on the nose and sit there, eh?
Right.
just normal.
Yep.
So big chance
Okay.
to
Sit 3.
and tighten the line to the middle of the house. Got to,
To have that in-turn draw around that
Just normal?
staggered
yes.
rocks
right
in the
on the
front of the
nose.
12-foot.
Tolerance is inside. And punch ours over. Speed's good.
I don't know if you want to roll too much here to the right and
Stickles.
take away any raise attempt with her last one.
I think Jamie Sinclair would be reasonably happy with a straight hit on the nose here.
Yep. 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 Hard.
Just
Yep.
swept it right, called it right away.
Hard. Yep. Yep. Hard. Go, go, go. Hard. Hard. Go, go, go. Hard.
Well, that didn't really help her. Got rid of the red, but it did open up. And now Muirhead's got a chance to score 2. She gets in behind those guards.
Come round the white one, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, that certainly helped the Muirhead team.
And I think she needed to hit that red one on the nose and just leave it there. Would have made
Okay, top
Eve's
button.
next shot a little tougher.
I guess if we come to back when it's no disaster. So, as long as we're sharp.
And she does have backing there to draw to as well. Hopefully she won't be needing that.
I think
Will be the wrong place to
she'll
be.
be wanting
behind
to
the
be
tee.
in front of the tee line.
Absolutely. So Eve Muirhead, the first of her 2 stones in this third end.
Easy then.
Line's
And
good.
she has the last stone
Lovely.
advantage.
We've got room right now.
Line's good.
Lauren only. Okay, we're wide right now. Keep the legs on it then.
Line's
yep.
good.
Yep.
Whoa,
Yep, if it's
whoa,
back.
whoa.
Yep. Yep, if it's back. For the freeze. For the freeze.
Okay, well swept.
For the freeze. Okay, well judged, kiddos.
Well swept.
So the freeze shot made
Got it.
there.
Good there, Evie.
And this end is shaping up to be
Stay up, good too.
Tone's heavy.
probably letting Eve just get a single point, but Jamie Sinclair has to
Right to it's pretty good.
probably repeat the freeze onto Muirhead's stone.
Yeah, withdrawing down right down to that yellow one. She's forced Sinclair to make this shot. Doesn't have any other option.
And if she's a fraction heavy and wide and bounces off it, then Eve can remove it for 2.
Line's close. Line's good.
They're not jumping on it for weight anyway. Got to curl a long way. It's not going to.
He's going to miss it.
That was the danger, just bouncing off it. So Eve has a pretty easy shot now, just to draw to that back stone. And the freeze was what made the 2 a distinct possibility.
Well, actually, the half shot Sinclair's first rock set that up.
Yep, both her stones not quite as required at this end, and the penalty for that will be giving up 2 shots, I think.
Line's tighter.
Line's good.
Yep. Hard. Hard for line. Hard for line, Vicky. Hard for line. Come on, guys, for a bite of the 4. Let's go.
Oh, this
Come
might
on,
be a
guys,
little
go.
short.
Come on, Vicky, you've got it. You've got it. Go.
Is it long enough? No.
Yeah, 1 red.
Wow.
Well, with the backing to come to,
Unforced error.
well, exactly, that was a poor shot. Especially having just played the first one. You only had to follow the same line
Well,
and probably put
she probably
maybe a
thought her
fraction
first
more
one-
weight on.
She probably thought her first one was a little long, so maybe she just took off a little too much. But with that, Muirhead scores 1, and Sinclair gets the hammer in the third end, being down 3-1 after 3 ends of play. We're back with the 4th end here at the Bern Ladies International Cup, 50th edition.
They would have been perfect for sure.
A lot of big names have won this
Line's good.
event in the past.
Line's good. Looks heavy.
Norberg.
Looks heavy.
Whoa, whoa.
Looks heavy.
Clybrink, Jennifer Jones, Colleen Jones, Kelly Law, Gustafson, Elizabeth, Miri Mott, Tieran Sony. Eve Muirhead's won this about 4 years ago. Defending champion is Alina Patz. last year. And Pat says no chance of winning this anymore. They're already out of the competition.
A lot of rotation. Yeah, it's got a ton of rotation over the weight. So we're good. Yeah, but it's just so rotation, I don't want to carry it in. Yeah.
So Lawrence Long again with her first rock. She's she backed up quite a bit there too. I wonder if she's suffering a little bit from
Similar running.
cold or flu or something. I don't know.
Line's good. Top four. Line's perfect.
I don't think it's that cold out there.
Looks like it's here. It looks like it's here.
You usually see leads packed up like that.
Okay, good.
No, the temperature of the ice hall is quite warm actually.
Yeah. She's got extra jacket on, so maybe a little under the weather. Monica Walker.
7.
Line's good. 7. No, it's running. Line's good. 6. Line's good. Make sure.
We're 6.
6. Coming down. 6. Line's good.
That'll finish nicely.
Yep. Perfect. Good.
Good shot.
Clean! Clean! Whoa! Whoa! We're good. Nice shot. Well set. Good.
Sinclair will be looking to replace that guard.
Okay. Keep the feed. Yeah.
So
I think
putting
so.
with a big curl like this, putting guards on to rocks
Yeah.
is not an easy task. And we see that curled a little bit too far. Left that
Barrier!
partially exposed, that yellow one. Should be easily removed. You get a hit and roll into the middle.
Yeah.
Clean! Stop falling! Whoa! 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 Yep!
Good looking line.
Nice roll too.
Well sweat, guys.
Good. That was probably up and barrier. Yeah.
So Richard, your
Okay.
next big project is the Olympics.
I'm not so sure about the big project, but the Olympic Games for everybody is the major event of the 4 years, and it's just around the corner. Less than a month away.
9-5.
And it starts with a mixed doubles curling event. First time in the Winter Olympics.
Do you know? Well, you of course you know. Silly question. What's the coverage look like for the mixed doubles?
Yeah.
Or actually both.
Yeah.
What's the coverage look like? How?
Well, there's interest, of course, because it will be an early medal in curling for the winner of the mixed doubles. Because the winner will be known in the first few days of the Winter Olympics,
So, like,
where the
16,
men's and women's
55.
events
It's
will
okay if it goes in, I suppose.
go on throughout the
17 too high.
length of the Olympic Games as each team plays the other in the round robin.
So will they be showing most of the games then on obviously nationally more nationally orientated stations picking up their own countries, right?
They will be.
So you're covering all the sheets and
Vicky for line.
All the sheets are covered. All the games are covered.
all the games are available then.
You can watch it from morning till night, through the
Through-
night,
throughout-
24 hours a
throughout
day,
the entire Olympics.
throughout the entire Olympics.
Curling overdose.
There's absolutely no let up if you're a curling fan.
And no sleep, probably. Okay, good to know. So you're going to be really busy.
Well, the people producing the TV are going to be really busy.
You have no role in that, or
Well, we're
I'm sure you'll be hovering around in the background, making sure they
I think we're okay.
do everything
As long
properly.
as there's only one there.
we're
Got another one in the wing.
consulted now by the Olympic Broadcast Service a lot on what to do, how to do it.
Whoa!
Our views, at least. They have their views too, quite rightly. But I'm confident that the coverage will be better than ever before.
Looking forward to it. And of course, we here at the World Curling Tour are also very happy to
Easy, normal.
partner with you on a number of events this season.
Normal. Normal's good, I think. Even if I pick this off, Vic, you stay
Helping
close
us
to it.
provide lots of curling for fans all over the world.
Well, overall, there's been a huge increase in the amount of curling appearing on TV
Absolutely.
in the last, probably specifically in the last 4 or 5 years, since the last Olympics actually. That's where it's really begun to take off.
Whoa!
And this year at the 2 World Championships, one being held in North Bay in Canada, and then the women's that is, and the men's in
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas in the first week in April.
Everything I thought was coming at me.
There'll be round-robin coverage of all games in the US, in Japan, in Canada, probably in China, and that's the first time that that's happened with so many different countries showing all the round-robin games. So that's a big increase, and of course in Europe on Eurosport channel, both World Championships.
They will be covering the Worlds. Okay,
Oh.
good for the
Whoa!
European fans.
And if you can't get them in any of these places, you'll have the World Curling Federation website.
The World Curling TV YouTube channel is
It was going. I
will
tried
be
to pick up a little more.
or without geo-blocking, other in the countries where there's TV
Correct.
coverage.
This won't do.
Very good.
So lots of curling.
Okay, just roll to
If you
top
overdose, you'll be looking forward to the golf season.
I think there's people out there that just can't get enough of this sport.
one. Back to the other hand, but I'm not sure the other hand's doing. That's the only thing.
Anyhow, back to this game.
Yeah, Muirhead sitting 2, but they're of no great danger to Sinclair at the moment. But Sinclair is having a problem setting up the deuce. It looks like the force is on again for her. Muirhead will want to keep this into play, but she looks like she's going to lose it.
Okay.
That might get Sinclair off the hook here.
Well, at the moment it looks like she's going to be forced to a single point.
I think, yeah. Well, she can play a double and try and blank this end, because I don't know how she's going to generate 2 with the setup that's there. Unless she can try and draw behind that corner one that's in the top of the 12-foot. And looking at the ice here, that looks like what she's going to try. Draw around the one now on the left side of the picture in the top of the 12-foot. With the curl here, you might be able to get partially buried.
I think it's,
Just enough to be an irritant to Muirhead.
I think it's worth having a go, because
Sure.
no matter what Muirhead does with her next stone, Jamie Sinclair will have a draw to save the end without any obstructions to stop her making it to the 4 foot or 1 foot if required.
Line's good.
And she's shown competency in that at the last
Got room.
end she won. The second end here.
Still
The
running.
line's good. I'm not sure about the weight. It's looking a little warm. Starting to
okay.
come down now.
Yep. Yep. Go, man. Yep. Yep.
The weight's okay, it's just Will it curl enough to get round behind?
Go, go, go. Hard. Hard, hard, hard.
Yeah, it needed to curl a
That's it,
little
guys.
more. Just a little too much ice. I'd be interested to know what the ice temperature is now. If it's cooled down a little bit, teams
Yeah.
definitely need to be aware that it might straighten out a little bit. Well, she did get a little bit of coverage. Could be enough to.
Well, all you need a little opening, and even though hardly any stones were in play there, the opportunity to come round that front red stone was still there, and
Just move nice.
she will get the chance for a 2 if Eve should catch the front guard and run out.
Well, I'm sure if it
A
had,
simple draw for 2 for the US team.
if it had curled a little more, Eve would be playing the run back, of course. But this is almost fully exposed.
So very important to have the right line on this.
She doesn't need to hit it on the nose or anything. She just needs to pick it cleanly. And that's what she does.
Well played.
Actually, there was never any doubt.
A bit more, yeah.
I should curl the lock, so it's appealing.
So good shot from Eve Muirhead, and that will force the draw for a
Similar.
single point from Jamie Sinclair. Just to make sure she's got the right weight for this, but other than that, the whole of the white circle is available to draw to.
In the other B final, or B qualifier, Sidorova has full control of that game. Verano made 1 in the second and then gave up another 3 in the third, so that scores 6-1 after 3 ends of play for the Russian team over the Swedish team.
All there. All there.
Line's good.
Mozeva from Russia already having qualified without a loss yesterday.
Curling.
This will put the second Russian team into the quarterfinals. So good showing for them this weekend so far.
One.
Make it a Sidorova-Mozeva rematch.
Well, we haven't had a Sidorova-Moiseva match.
Huh?
We haven't had a Sidorova
Well,
Moiseva match.
they did a few weeks ago.
Ah, right.
Do you want to get rid of your second one anyway?
Well, good draw there from Jamie Sinclair, never in any doubt. And the single point goes to
I'll
her.
just switch mine. No, I'll switch
And
it.
the score narrows to 3-2, but critically, the last stone advantage falls back to the Muirhead team heading
Just one
into
guard.
end
Tight
number
back
5.
wing, we ignore it again.
Mozeva
Let's do it.
qualifying for the Olympics over Sidorova in a best of 7 by a score of 4-1. Played just before Christmas. Or during Christmas or after Christmas, I think. Somewhere between Christmas and New Year's. In Sochi.
So end number 5. A10 games, of course, played in almost all events, and certainly all the World Curling Tour events, both here and in North America. Now the World Curling Tour, which was predominantly the North American bit of it, and the Champions Curling Tour, amalgamating, joining forces to become the World Curling Tour. Armand, you're the chief factotum of all that.
Yes, we sat together in the spring, and we decided to merge the two tours and rebrand it all our events now to World Curling Tour. World Curling Tour headquarters now being in Switzerland. And really quite a bit of expansion on the tour now with juniors, mixed doubles, challenger, masters series. We're up to over 230 events worldwide.
And you've been at them all.
Yes, on a regular basis.
Line's good.
No,
5.
not even close.
Line's good.
That would be a lot of traveling.
Line's fine.
Now we have often we have
Line's good.
4 or 5 events going on, different categories going on at the same time. So that's a thing of impossibility.
Line's perfect. Great touch.
Not to
Finish
mention
is
that's
so
not in
hard
my
that, like,
budget.
No.
Nice draw.
Yeah.
Guard.
Very good shot.
That guard's a little bit too long for my liking. That's could be easily circumvented with the amount of curl they have here.
Yep. Hard! Hard, Vicky! Whoa, whoa! Kelly.
And nicely removed.
Good, Lauren. That was
Nice lead.
bored.
So just explain why we were shouting
Yeah.
for one sweeper and not the
Just
other.
sitting
And
there right now too. So
going to tell us all about that?
Well,
normal.
even though the brushes are no longer as aggressive as they were a couple of years ago, the brush gate, is that what you called it?
Yes.
Sweeper still, I believe there's an effect whether sweeping on one side or the other, and if you sweep on, if Monica Walker is sweeping now, she's actually keeping the rock straight on the right side, and Piersinger, she would be sweeping for the curl, so that's why you hear the skip calling out maybe the first name of the player which she wants to sweep,
I thought it was
whether left or right, wants more curl or wants to keep it straight, and then you'll see, we see a lot more one player sweeping now than we used to. I'm just, it's beyond me how we never figured that out over the years until that just totally exploded. And we've been playing with that broom material for so many years. It's no wonder I missed all those shots. We were sweeping from the wrong side.
Yes.
It's a curler spot for sure.
Anyway, considering sweeping, one of the attractions of curling for me is that it's actually, I think, the only sport
Little less.
where once you've released the object, be it a tennis ball, a golf ball, a cricket ball, anything,
You can still
you
influence
can
it.
have some effect on it.
Yeah,
I can't think of any other sport that has that.
and it adds a big dynamic to the game. And so communications becomes so important, judging the weight, and the good players do have a fair amount of effect on that rock for distance and line, and it just adds the precision to our game even more.
Clean. We're good.
Of course, mixed doubles is a little restricted on the sweeping. It'll look like this looks at the moment. Kelly Schaefer out there sweeping by herself. And you'll see players switching sides while they're sweeping to try and get more or less curl.
Well, it certainly means the sweeper has to be more athletic to be able to not only sweep but jump around all over the place
Yeah,
if necessary.
Danger of touching a rock becomes a little more a
Yeah,
factor.
and there's been much more of that happening because of it.
Well, it's no surprise.
Yep.
So
Still yep. Yep.
this end being
Yep.
played
Whoa.
fairly cleanly. 3-2 Muirhead leads. She has last stone advantage here. And I think we're just going to see them running this through.
Yeah.
Don't think there's much chance of a 2 being scored. So Eve will be quite happy to blank the end and go on to the 6th end.
Yep. Clean. Clean. Clean.
Well, they don't really care if they roll out very much, so.
Mixed doubles tour event going on right now in the Netherlands with the Dutch Masters. A lot of the top mixed doubles teams playing there, and there's live streaming going on that throughout the weekend. So if anybody's interested, have a look in A little more basic form of streaming, but it's very good. Also on World
Was that solid or
Curling
normal?
Tour
Okay.
YouTube channel. I know the world #1 Russian team is there. Kurzeniski and
Clean. Clean.
lost the name for a second.
We're good. We're good. Yep.
Yep, yep.
It'll be interesting to see how
Nose.
the Canadians, who have just taken basically 2 good players and played a qualifying round, comes up against, say, the Russians or the Swiss, who have really focused their teams on specifically that
Sorry.
competition. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. I don't think the Scots are qualified, is that right?
They
British
have
mixed
not.
doubles?
Nope.
Which was a bit of a surprise because they were in there quite well. They were a very good team.
Yep. Yep, yep,
And the US mixed doubles team.
yep.
Yes, they have Hamiltons.
They're also
Yeah, it was
involved
solid,
in
wasn't I?
men's and women's.
Yes. Is that right? Okay. Double duty. That'll be interesting how that works. That's going to be very tiring. Not sure if that's a good idea.
It's the Hamiltons.
Okay.
Don't worry.
No. Okay.
Solid out here.
Lots of energy.
They have lots of energy.
They'll need it. It's a long, long series.
Yep,
Whoa,
So
whoa,
a fairly wide open end
yep,
here.
yep. Yep,
whoa,
yep.
whoa.
Yep, just
Yep.
a swap of the hits.
Okay, good.
2 stones remaining then in this 5th end. One from Jamie Sinclair, and then Eve with the last stone will want to hit and roll out to keep the advantage going into the 6th then. You can see the scoreboard there, 3 shots to 2 for Muirhead. Well, they're not touching this.
Girl.
Surely
She got a piece of it.
Yeah.
Ooh, no, not enough. Oh, another unforced error from this time from Sinclair.
Chuck it up the other side.
Well, that was
Yeah, I tried not to turn it.
a bad one.
Yeah, because this will cost her a 2 and a 2 in this end right here.
An unexpected 2, it has to be said, for Eve Muirhead.
Just because I played that other end.
Britskalova is, of course, the other
The same ice as you gave
Russian
me the other end.
pair from the mixed #1 ranked world mixed doubles team.
So you can see Kelly Schaefer just giving ice for Eve Muirhead to draw to the centre of the house. Anywhere the rings will do for this one.
She was over on the in-turn side, and now she's moved over to the out-turn side. I must think this track runs a little more,
Carlin.
or she felt a little more comfortable with this
Carlin,
track.
Carlin, now. Make sure then. Let's
Okay,
get a
line's
time
good.
for forfeit.
She's
Yep.
perhaps just testing a particular line in case she's to use it later to draw the button or the forefoot.
Well looked after. Good, Evie.
So a solid draw to touch the forefoot circle. And with that deuce,
Hot.
Eve Muirhead
Yeah,
and
I
her
popped it too. I tried not to soften it
Scottish
up.
team
Yeah.
will take a 5-2 advantage going into end number
Just keep it clean. 2
6.
One's desired.
Top 4.
Top 4, top 8.
Okay. And it curls so much that without, I don't know if we're going to be able to get, like they can come around and touch that so easily.
Well, that doesn't change if it's 1 or 2 corners.
Oh, corner guards, right. Ha.
Well,
So you want to see the interested in the world team rankings, where these teams are ranked, and the men's teams, the mixed doubles teams, go to worldcurl.com. All sorts of information there. from all the teams and results of other events and the information you want. And of course, World Curling TV production partner with the World Curling Tour this season on a number of events. Much appreciated. Give us
Line's good, Vic.
fans a chance to watch their favorite teams play from wherever they are in the world. And we do manage to show a lot of international teams that are not necessarily the top ranked teams, which is really nice for their countries to get some coverage. And that's really important for them too.
So in the house was the call, preferably in front of the tee, but this one rolled a little bit further on than she wanted, than Eve wanted. There will be Monica Walker to follow from that, going for a corner guard to try and set up
Line's good.
possibility of a 2-point end for the Sinclair team. They need it now at three shots behind.
I just noticed here Monica Walker not only ranked 18th with her team Sinclair on the world ranked team ranking for the ladies, she's also ranked 13th as a mixed doubles partner with Jason Smith from the US. So that's a very high ranking because there's about 250 mixed doubles teams on this ranking. So ranked in the top 20, top 15. Really
Line's
good.
higher. Line's higher. Yeah. No cuddle yet. It's curling now.
Yeah.
We can't. It's wider line.
Seems like a big backstop back there.
Okay.
Grace struggling a little with her draw weight. She seems to be on the heavy side throughout the
I
game.
think weight's the same this way.
But at this stage, with 5-2 lead, better that than short of the house. But better still would
That's
be
the bigger
front of the
one.
house.
I think we gotta go.
Anyhow, second stone of Monica Walker. Just trying to make a corner guard on the other side, directly opposite the one she already has
Fires it goes, yeah.
secured.
Good, keep going. Keep it moving, go, go, go. Go, 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 go. Great sweep, guys.
Just trying to get it to the
Okay, don't need this coat anymore.
same distance as the first one. Well, not bad. Certainly tough to make a double on those two.
Yeah.
Impossible, I think.
Verona in the fourth scored 2, so she's hanging in there against Sidorova in the other B qualifier.
Okay, good,
Another
Vic.
hit. And roll out.
Muirhead has a lead. It's really tough to come back on her. They're a great hitting team. Notice that so many years now. She struggles sometimes to make up a lead when she's behind, but when she gets a lead, there's hardly beating her.
Vicky Persinger.
It's dying too. It is. No.
At second, just trying to replace that corner guard. Which she does very nicely.
Like they left it at second because it
Muirhead now having a
goes
go
for
at the
hit. It's not as
first
bad.
of these stones, which is slightly closer to the centre line than the one that's just arrived.
Clean. Yep. Clean. Yep. We're good. We're good. We're good. Nice stroke.
And Vicky Adams peels that guard off, rolls the shooter.
I think we go under.
So the only stones in play, the one remaining guard for the US, or Sinclair. And the two stones in the back of the house, back on the 8-foot
Do you like
circle.
one more corner? I kind of like under it. Okay. Same weight.
These two teams have faced each other twice this year at the Masters of Curling and then the Perth Ladies, which was back in April. Sinclair won
similar.
both
This is
those
kind of a little
affairs,
better.
5-4 in the Masters in October, and then Perth in April,
2.5.
5-3. So Muirhead's actually
We're there.
hasn't got a win in this year against them.
Good shot.
But heading for one now, it looks like.
Seems to be under control.
I don't think we guard again,
So the
though.
corner guard up again, and the corner guard will be going away again, I think. This time Kelly Schaefer, left-handed of course, so you get a different line off her shots than the right-handed players.
Nice throw, Kelly. Really
Going
good.
for the peel. Eve already likes it before it connects.
Good, nice throws.
Strong play in clearing these
Yeah.
corner
You would
guards.
too, though, if you were getting full-time workouts and curling practice. Corner. Corner guard.
So another corner guard. This time it will be for third player, Carlson.
Should run for a long time. Starting to move.
Not touching this. Might be a little further. Well, not really. Same place. No. Actually further on. Muirhead again indicating just to clear it out. Roll the shooter.
Americans have been doing a great job getting guards into play. They're just not getting any mistakes at the moment from the Scottish team.
Yep. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Looks like Kelly Schaefer's not going to make any mistakes either.
Is that less ice in your guard?
You see that running surface. You saw the lights underneath the rock. You see that the running surface is far smaller than the width of the rock is. It's only about
Not soft. I didn't add anything either.
5.5, 6 inches across.
Line's good. Got room still.
And the running surface itself is only about 5.5
Line's really good.
millimeters, 6 millimeters, somewhere in there.
Yep.
Yep.
So not a lot of
Hard.
not a lot of contact between the rock and ice
go
actually.
hard.
So
Go, go, go. Hard. Keep going. Go, go, go.
of course the ice with the raised pebble on it, the frozen water drops, makes it even less contact to the ice. That's why they run so smoothly and quickly.
Eve, don't appeal it. How? If you can. Okay.
So Sinclair there eventually changing the tactic a little bit to use the remaining corner guard rather than putting another one up. Can only go on for so long.
Yeah. Maybe not quite as heavy because that was a bit more.
At least she had the luxury of the two corner guards being put up all the time because her
Nice, Kel.
front end players had put them back in place every time.
Unfortunately, that guard is weighted, and then a 12-foot getting behind it doesn't get you into shot position.
No, but these back two stones are together, so it's one shot should remove them both.
That's true too.
Well then. Sure, guys.
Good shot
Yep,
from
back,
Eve Muirhead.
back.
She will roll
Now
her
that-
shooter into the house, and now,
Except now there's 3 sitting in the house.
yes, that's good play from the Scottish skip, really forcing the game. So leading by 3 and lying 3, nice position to be in.
Wow, Verano stole one in the 5th, so that score is now 6-4. Are the Swedes making a little comeback? Sidorova with the hammer in the 6th end, up 2 points. Two teams qualified already, Mozeva and Felcher.
Line's nice. All the way 8.
So this time Sinclair just trying to freeze the
All
stone.
the way 8. Line's good. Can't hurt it. Yep.
Come right into the house and
Yep. Hard.
lie against that
Hard
back
line,
stone
hard
of
line. Yep, go.
Scottish team.
Yep.
Not bad.
That was a nice shot.
Very nice.
Very good. And she can't get to the left side or the right side of that rock. Maybe she can.
Yeah. Come over here.
Her own rock up front might be a bit of a... Might be in the way a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna come off that ridge.
She needs to hit that on the right, left-hand side now from our picture to get that, to remove that.
Well, she might be able to hit it on the nose if it's really heavy and it'll still spin out. Probably.
Needs a lot of weight to do that, though.
Or
She-
almost on the nose. She only needs to be fractionally to the right as we look at it, and it'll
Yeah, but she needs
Big
to get,
on.
she needs to get past that front one in the red, in the
Yep.
foot. So Schaefer not giving a lot of ice here, so this Steve's going to put some heat on this, I would think.
Yep.
Launches
Yep.
the rock down the ice.
Yep.
Cameraman not really keep up to that. It's going so fast.
so well played.
Yep. She doesn't care about losing her own rocks back there.
Good, Evie.
So now Muirhead lies 2. And a lot of pressure on Sinclair here. Big chance for...
She almost
Well, she
forced to
just-
take one out.
Yeah, she has to take one.
She could try the double clearing to blank the end, but she doesn't want to give up another one. Then it would be game over, probably.
So very important to make this shot. Take her single point. Just going for the controlled weight takeout on that front stone
In.
of the Muirhead team.
Sweeper's not doing a lot with it.
We're good.
Needed to curl a fraction, but I think it's okay. It
All
is.
by itself.
So with that hit on the nose, or almost on the nose, Jamie Sinclair picks up another single point. Narrows the score to 5 shots to 3. Going into end number 7. But Team Muirhead will have the last stone advantage heading back up the ice sheet.
Yeah, because it depends if she double centres, clean chip, because scoring's good.
So you can see where to check results and have a look at Facebook or Twitter,
Yeah, don't forget to like us on Facebook.
or join in, I was going to say.
Yeah. I think it's called liking. Are you on Facebook, Richard?
Yes.
You are. It's like, can't find you. Are you under a pseudonym?
No?
Okay. Incognito.
Good.
So nice guard, or nice centre stone from Monica Walker.
Nice shot. Okay. Line's good. A bit. Oh.
Yeah, well, there's the problem right there. It's like there's thousands of you guys.
Should be good. Just here.
So in the house.
That guard, that Sinclair guard again, for my liking, a little too far ahead. You want to set up 2 guards if you can. So you want one just over the hog line and one very close to the house would be ideal.
2-3.
We'll see if Monica Walker can get close to the house on this one without going in.
Yep, go. Yeah. Keep going. Go.
It's the one that's close to the house that you want to get behind. You certainly don't want to put these 2
Just keep it moving.
close together. Sweeper's working that.
I thought those were
Yeah,
way
I think
more
just
different
got
than
enough
that.
separation there.
Well, I think the first one had a little more rotation too.
Eve calling for a soft feeling. Yeah, I think she is.
Clean. Hack. Whoa.
So Lauren
Right,
Gray.
Hack. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta go, Vicky. You gotta go.
Just hoping to split that stone off to the wing.
Nicely done.
Yep, well played. Has to stick around and play. Otherwise it comes back to where it started. Muirhead with last stone wants to keep the centre as open as possible in case she needs it with her last stone. Hence the reason why she
Got a lot on this. It's a lot of weight.
pushed the US counter off towards the wing. That last shot.
8. 8. Yeah.
Come out the other side. It doesn't stop very quickly.
Now I think, yeah.
Normal.
But it is right on the 1 foot button, so
Easy, normal.
it's a good one to protect if you get the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's fairly exposed. You can see almost all of it. Vicky Adams will be looking to remove that.
Easy, normal. Up. Whoa. Whoa.
Stay with it.
No.
Going for the roll.
It's hitting it on the outside. Rolling away.
Yeah.
So another opportunity for Jamie Sinclair to use this centre guard. Draw right round behind it. And it's very important
5.
to sit
5. And no 7.
in exactly the right spot behind here to make it tough for Muirhead to get to you.
4, 5.
So anywhere front 4 foot, the further in the better too when it comes to protecting it. This one a bit short, could have been better if it was in towards the front 4 foot circle.
That must say other hand. Okay. Maybe put the guard back. Okay.
Clean. Yep.
Adams now being asked to rip off that guard since that draw behind it was far better than the last one. And once again, Sinclair indicating to put up a center guard.
Little ad. Line's good. 20.
Oops, true up here, Vicky.
Clean.
Yep.
Straightforward. Peel on the guards.
Good throw, Kels.
Yeah.
Mission
Quite
accomplished.
a wide angle double.
Try and give you a tips more. Similar slide, maybe a little more.
So quite a bit of peeling from Kelly Schaefer and from Vicky Adams in this game. Both of them doing it rather well.
Yeah, no mistakes yet from Muirhead team. No nose hits or misses.
Well done. Wait only, let it die.
I might be tempted to draw behind the 1 and the 12 foot and go maybe behind the tee line or something with the rock just to change it up.
Well,
Try and generate something that way. The peels don't seem to be an issue here for
I think you have to, or she does.
Muirhead.
in the last end they waited to do that till skip.
Yeah, I might do a little bit earlier to maybe get some rocks into play.
And if she draws, you could always.
They certainly have these down.
I mean, if you're here, that's okay. But here is not horrible. Yeah. Yeah, watch out your broom head's not snapped in.
So she's playing with all the guards from the out-turn side, and she's now going to from the in-turn side. All 6 rocks were in-turn, and now she's going to the out-turn draw.
And
That's interesting.
ah,
Don't you think so? She's been playing the other side the whole time. Now she's going to a complete new line. I just wondered.
yeah, I think she's played
Why
it
that
before
didn't-
though. I think she's. I think they're both teams are very familiar with the ice sheet here. Now,
Maybe she just likes throwing this turn.
I think so.
Line's nice. Gotta
Haven't
be
seen a
key.
lot of this team in Europe.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa, just in front of it.
They've had a reasonably good season, but they did lose to Nina Roth in the trials to determine the qualifier from the United States for the Olympic Games.
She's going to come around again, isn't she? Yeah.
Yeah, when that's been a 4-year program and you lose that, it's probably pretty
Cross the face, this hand.
hard to get focused again. Sidorova on this side here is also dealing with that issue. But she's playing well this weekend. Sidorova just eliminates, or doesn't eliminate, but eliminates it out of the B, Verano. Verano will now go down in the C and try her luck there. I'll just wait for the final score on that. It's going up now. Another 2 in the 6, so that's
Yep.
8-4 victory for Sidorova over Verano, and that puts Sidorova into the quarterfinals. And look at this, everything just seems to be working for Muirhead.
Oh, great shot,
Yeah.
yes. Very nice.
We just can't have 2.
The raised double, and the shooter rolls over behind, or partly behind the guard.
You freeze to this and then really hope for a mistake that's probably not going to come anyways.
For a bit, yeah. I think it'll be good. I think it looks good.
Being down 3 going into the last is probably not a good situation for Sinclair, and that's tough.
Or
Although
4.
Well, I'm assuming she's going to make a perfect freeze here, and Muirhead is forced to make 1. It's just that
Well,
which would be the best case.
Where that
or
brush,
the worst. No,
where that brush is, it doesn't look like a freeze to
no,
me.
it doesn't look like a freeze, does it? Is she drawing to the other side? No. I don't know what just clearing it or what. Probably thinking it's easier to steal 2 than to make 3. Last rock here for Sinclair in this
Queen, yep.
7th end. She's down 5-3 and Muirhead has the last.
Queen.
Well, she didn't give a lot of ice for this shot.
Yep,
It's
come on.
controlled take out weight.
So she's giving the blank to Muirhead.
11-5, good note, good wait.
Okay. That's the question, isn't it? Is it easier to steal 2 or is it easier to make 3? Next year that'll be different, of course, with the 5 rock rule.
Yes.
I think a 3 is probably more possible.
So the hit and run out here is what Eve Muirhead is looking for. So that she retains the last stone advantage going into the 8th and final end.
Yep, yep.
Easy, easy, easy.
Yes, Becky.
Clean,
Yes, Becky.
clean. Yep. Clean.
Good.
She's taken her point, so she wants to go up 3, and I would probably have done that myself too.
So with the single point secured by Eve Muirhead, she takes a 6-3 advantage going home. 1 end remaining in this B qualification game for the last 8 places.
Two corners.
Try going around.
That's a big hill to climb. Down 6-3 for Sinclair.
I would just close. 2.5. Go. That's what we need, then, actually.
So the corner guard once more. This time Jamie Sinclair has the last stone advantage. And she needs 3 to tie the game. And Eve Muirhead not even trying to push that stone out to the wing and run.
Which is probably not a bad choice since
Yeah.
Lauren's been struggling a little bit with the draw weight in this game, so you might as well not take any chances. No need to. Certainly don't want to put rocks behind the tee line.
This feels a little slower. We're there. It's there. It's good. It's really good. Nice.
That's nice guard placement.
I'm done with this walking down the wrong kind of thing.
Evenly spread out on the same level. Certainly no double there. Vicky Adams will try and remove one and lose her shooter. It's pretty straightforward now for the Scottish team. Anything that's yellow, just make it disappear.
Well swept.
So the aim here is just to run the US team out of stones. So they only
Yeah, she
have
moved you out.
2 left, but they need 3.
Yeah, they'll be counting rocks back there.
Pretty good ad. I don't think. Not light or not heavy. Yep, go wait, yep. 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 Good shot.
Clean.
We'll be on again at 4 o'clock Central European time with a C final. And we'll be posting that probably somewhere half an hour before that happens. So check out the YouTube channels, World Curl TV or World Curling Tour YouTube channels to see what game we will be showing. I'm sure we'll try and pick a good one. There's a couple of good teams still left in this competition. Of course, the loser of this game will drop down and try and make their way through the C group.
Yeah. Runs way nicer.
So the second corner guard, once again established.
Right. It's not helping her any.
Five world champions at this event this year, or 5 former world champions. Handful of Olympic teams also. Well, the first miss. She just launched that a little and had a lot of rotation on it, so it didn't move for her at all.
It was big weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's 4 more yellow rocks to come, and 3 of those need to count.
I gotta be wrong.
But there are 2 corner guards out.
Every shot needs to be perfect now.
Not bad.
So they attempt to come around. The guard on the right hand side as the player looks
Yep.
at it.
Yep.
This one needs
Yep.
all the
Hard.
sweeping
Yep,
it can
hard.
get to get round.
Yep. Go. Go. Go.
Could
go.
be short in
Hard.
weight.
Hard. Go. Go. Go.
Needs to curl a bit too.
Well, not bad, but it will be visible for Kelly Schaefer to hit.
Yeah, I don't think it's good enough.
I don't know if she can see all of it, perhaps just and no more.
And Kelly not wasting any time firing that rock down there and wanting to.
She's going to get past the guard.
Oh yeah.
Good shot.
I know. Sorry, but
Well.
first one easier.
3
We may-
stones remaining, and
Just a little more
Sinclair
weight.
team need them all.
She tightened my ice up
Lying
a couple
one
inches
against.
too, because I cleared it by a mile.
This may be the last rock for the US team. They all have to count now. And we still need a couple of more misses. We need 2 misses at least out of Muirhead. I think that's hoping for a lot.
I think
You're
so, because
right,
it
by a
might
lot.
be not the first two, but certainly they haven't missed much at all in this game. Played very well.
Yep, keep going. Yep, yep, yep,
A
yep.
good looking shot into the back of the house, but too far, but it will lie around behind the guard.
Yep.
He's opting to remove the guard.
Yeah, she has a couple of shots still to her advantage, so once she's removed the guard,
Yeah, she just needs to expose one yellow one, and that's all it takes.
that's right. They can't put the guard back unless they put it right in the top of the house. And
No,
then
what
Eve
you-
still has to miss.
What you don't want to do with this shot is try and get at that back yellow one and just feather the guard and miss everything, and
You
then,
don't want that,
then
no.
you're in trouble. So
No,
Clean.
just remove it from play.
no, nothing. Becky, no, nothing. No.
Oh. Ooh. Ooh. 2 misses in this end. They're just teasing us.
That doesn't look the expression of somebody who's just teasing you.
Well, that's unexpected. Alright. Inside out takeout. Maybe running a little straight on her. As we have big swings from the outside. Maybe inside out on takeouts. Running a little straighter.
So now there is very real danger for Muirhead. Jamie Sinclair has to get another stone round behind that guard. Still
Line's nice.
advantage Muirhead, I think, to win the game, but
It's not over until
it's not over yet.
it's over.
Indeed.
Close, Vicky.
So
We're good.
This
the
has
weight
to
looks
come.
okay, but it,
Okay, well then.
oh, no, it's a
Nicely
good shot.
done, yeah.
Yeah,
This
very
is
good
looking
shot.
really good. Well,
Nice. Nice shot, guys.
it's only second shot. Wonder if Eve gonna play the draw now.
Okay.
She will.
Like, Philly
She
ain't.
just needs to lay second and not set up a double in any way.
Yeah,
If she's got to get in front of those yellow ones somehow. If she leaves it in front of the tee line,
T line's good.
if she wants to come down, she'll have to come down to them. She doesn't want to leave it tee line or higher. Tee line wouldn't be good at all. I think she needs to come back behind the tee line.
There.
I think that would be the best shot anyway.
Otherwise, that doubles there.
Yeah, but we can't leave a double, so it does need to be back to it.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Anyway, there.
Strategy confirmed, Armin, and now requiring execution.
I gave it quite a lot. Line's good.
Line's really good. We've got room.
No, guys. No.
Where are we?
Right to Vicky.
No, then. No.
Well, she's
We've
got
no
plenty of
line,
weight, I think.
guys.
I think so
They
too.
don't need to sweep.
Get in
This
there.
is sailing. Oh, it's coming down now.
Is
But,
it going to curl?
oh, she needs to be second shot. Oh,
Okay.
I got fortunate there. That just hangs on to that yellow one at the back and manages to stop in time.
Well, I think it's good enough.
Yeah, that's
Magic.
a
Yes.
really thin double.
Yeah.
I don't think
Gotta
it's
have enough
there.
to get
It's
back
really
that one
tough.
and kick
US
this one
require
all the way to the
3 to
front.
tie,
And it's taking a trajectory
and they
that's
lie
going through.
third and fourth shots.
So I think you need at least
So,
control, if not
I have to get
normal.
both of these out.
She needs a redirect
Sure,
off the
sure.
top one, but
Or
the
just,
top
yeah,
one's still got to
just
go out
kick
too.
Almost like
We can listen to how they're going to do it.
pretty straight. And I'm sweeping to basically miss it. Okay.
But you
Or
mustn't.
she
But
ju-
you mustn't miss it.
Yeah, it just has to. Actually, she doesn't have to move the top red one that far. She just
No.
needs to move it about a rock or two
Yeah.
to make sure they're worse than the 2 yellow ones on the. But she really has to feather this. Just needs a redirect.
Feather the top red and zoom straight to the other one and lock straight onto it. That's the shot. Usually it's the shot that you're cursing you've just made because you've missed what you were trying to do. But in this
Yeah,
case,
this one.
in this case, she makes the shot if she does it.
Jamie Sinclair, last
Oh!
chance here.
Yep!
Can she tie this game?
Yep! Yep! Hard!
Not far away.
No.
Not far away.
Oh, no, got too much of it.
Come close.
She wasn't
It
far
was
away.
close.
Nice game.
But another one for
Nice game.
Muirhead. No, sorry, that was one for the Americans.
No,
But
I
that
think
wasn't enough.
No, I think it was one from Muirhead.
No, the yellow one was counting.
Ah, yeah.
The yellow one was counting. That would give you a final score of 6-3. And with that, Muirhead 6-4, excuse me, correction. And with that,
Get less of that, Andy.
Muirhead
Oh, you definitely can
is
get
in the
less of that.
quarterfinal, along with Mozeva, Sidorova, and Felcher. And Sinclair will now have to try her luck in the C group. So she's still got some work cut out for her. Pretty good game, Richard.
Yeah, it's a very good game. And apart from the last end misses, the Muirhead team looked very solid in their preparations for the Winter Olympics next month in Korea.
And of course, lots of information on worldcurl.com website. I think we're having a bit of a problem with the website at the moment, but we'll get that fixed as soon as we can. Thanks to World Curl TV, World Curling Federation partnership broadcast. And we will be back in about an hour's time, I believe, plus minus, and we'll hopefully in about a half hour be able to start posting which games we will be showing. Or which game we will be showing. And that's it from us for at the moment. Here live from Bern. Hope to see you in about an hour's time. Hope you enjoyed this game. And with that, Muirhead defeats Sinclair here in the B final, moving into the quarterfinals. And another game continues. We'll see you in about an hour's time. I'm just going through some highlights here.
So in the first end, it was a draw for 2 for Eve Muirhead. And she grabs a 2-0 advantage. In the second end, Jamie Sinclair facing 3, and with her last stone she has to draw against those 3. Single point for her with a beautiful draw to the 4-foot circle to narrow the score to 2-1. Going on to the third end, it will be a single point for the Muirhead team when that draw shot comes to the back, and then Eve ends up being short with a chance to get 2. She only picks up the single point, but goes ahead 3 shots to 1. Moving along to the 6th end. And straight hit on the nose, giving Sinclair another single, but by now the score 5 shots to 3. And in the 7th, Muirhead choosing to hit and stick for her single, and with that the 3-shot lead going into the final end. In that final end, that was one of the misses, and beautiful draw from Sinclair round behind sets up the prospect of a possible 3, but Muirhead with this shot just rolling off the back one and lying second shot. Fortunately for her, means that Sinclair was faced with a thin double which she just failed to make, and that allowed Eve Muirhead a loss of only 1 point there and a 6-4 win overall, and the position in the quarterfinals, which will take place tomorrow at 8 AM, and meantime at 4 PM the last 4 teams for the quarterfinals will be determined through the C Road. So from Armin Harder and I, until a little bit later this afternoon, we'd like to wish you a very good afternoon from Bern, and we'll look forward to seeing you later. Tune in, please.